Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 2023 goals. I made a video recently where I was reflecting a bit on how 2022 looked as far as my personal development, and I felt like I put a lot of energy and time into eyeshadow, but nothing else that interests me. Not as much as I should, not as much as I wanted to. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I've laid down some thoughts and I just want to chat with you guys about them. If you're new here, hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I really enjoy playing with colorful eyeshadow and I upload multiple videos every week. They're all eyeshadow related, so if you want to see those, remember to like and subscribe before you leave. Now this is going to be a little bit of a chatty get ready with me, so let's get going. I'm going to start by priming my eyes. I like to use the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting. I always do my eyes first because I don't often do anything much with my face. You know, as far as product and stuff, I don't do foundation and primers and stuff, so I start with the eyes, and then if I decide to do anything else, I will. Although I have been doing my brows lately, so. Anyway, I wrote down a whole bunch of thoughts for what I want my 2023 to look like, because when I was looking back on 2022, I felt like I was in a bit of a creative slump outside of eyeshadow. And also just in the rest of my life, I don't think that I was very disciplined or structured. And not only do I not want that for myself, but I also do not want to teach that to my children. I felt like the whole year was kind of dry as far as personal development, creativity, becoming a more well-rounded person in general. Fortunately, I can say that my relationships have been good. My marriage is very strong. I have great relationship with my children. I've got good, strong friendships and family and everything. So relationally, I think I'm doing good. But personal development-wise, not so much. I will do my eyebrows just because I like the structure that it gives, the shape for when I do my eye look. By the way, all of the products that I'm using are linked below in the description box. I'm not really going to talk much about those because I don't want the video to be a billion hours long. So when I laid out these thoughts for the year, I don't really have them structured yet in terms of order of priority, like what's most important, things like that. I just gave myself some categories. Because I feel like I'm doing well relationally, I did not put that as one of the categories. The categories that I want to really improve in are fitness, hobbies, business, and home. And I'm going to hash those out for you guys a little bit in today's video. It's just, in general, these are the things that I'm thinking about. Now I'm just using a little bit of NYX brow glue to keep these hairs in place. I'm not a huge fan of this product, but I have so little experience with any brow products that I can't really compare. But I might try something else when this runs out. The palette that I want to play with today is the Queen Bee palette from Colored Rain. I think this palette's just great, and I've kind of been jonesing to play with it lately. I really want to do black and yellow. But I think that's going to be super difficult to blend out. I've tried it before. It is difficult because there's such a huge contrast between the depth of shadows, and this black is incredibly pigmented. So I'll probably bring in this shade as well to help bridge that gap a little bit. For each category, I gave myself a blanket. Here's the category. This is what I want, period. So for the fitness category, I wrote that I wanted to take better care of my body. Now, this is kind of obvious, right? But right now, I eat relatively healthy. It's not that I live a really inactive lifestyle, but I certainly don't live as active a lifestyle as I want. I don't really do much when it comes to physical fitness and exercise outside of doing things around the house. You know, okay, I vacuumed and I folded laundry and I carried my toddler around all day, and that is all physical exercise. I'm not saying it's not. But I want to include more. I've never enjoyed working out per se. I've enjoyed taking classes where working out is what you do, you know, jiu-jitsu classes and boxing, bike riding, you know, I've enjoyed doing those sorts of things. So I like the physical movement. I just don't have much of it in my life right now probably because of the season I'm in. It's just motherhood in general. I find myself home a lot, taking care of the little ones, and we neither have time nor money to go out and sign up for a bunch of classes, and our bicycles were stolen, so I can't go for a bike ride right now. Even if we did, when would I go? I'm about to have a baby, and I've got 2 other children. My husband being in school makes it so that it's a lot harder for him to have the time to watch the kids if I want to go off and take a tennis class. So things like that I would like to incorporate in my life, but I have to accept that that's not really the season that I'm in right now. And that is fine, but because it's not the season I'm in, I need to do other things. And as I get older, I want to take better care of myself so that I age well, stay strong, and be fit. So that's my general goal for the fitness category. And the way that I want to specifically achieve this, I think I'm going to bring this onto the lower lash line as well, is by doing something. Because right now, I don't do anything. Like I said, my intentional physical fitness level is very low. Any change at all that includes movement is a positive change. So this qualification is actually quite broad. It's just move, do anything. Specifically, I do want to incorporate a couple of walks a week. Daily walks would be great. We were doing walks every evening after dinner. Then the weather got cold, but now the weather's getting warm again, so I could see that happening. And aside from that, there are 2 YouTube channels that I kind of want to check out. Or, well, I've already checked out and I kind of want to try. I'm going to link those down below in the description box in case what I'm saying is interesting to you. I have a lot of trouble motivating myself to work out at home. I would love to go to a gym, sign up for a class, and have 30 people around me and we're all doing the same thing, and there's a teacher who's motivating you and, pushing you forward and not letting you give up. And I enjoy that. I work well in that environment, but again, that's not where I am right now. So because I have trouble motivating myself to work at home, part of it is just get over it. You just do it. Just get over it and do it. And then part of it is finding the right workouts, which feel doable and not intimidating, scary, or just super easy to give up. So one of my thoughts there is to find shorter workouts. And for that, I've discovered Holly Dolke. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she's in the description box. Her workouts are much shorter. They're like 7 to 10 minutes. They're really doable, very manageable, and they require little to no equipment. So I want to try some pregnancy-safe workouts, and Holly has some like that. And then a lot of her workouts are low impact, no or little equipment needed. You can do this in your living room. You can do it in your bedroom closet before you go to bed at night. These are doable, manageable, bite-sized workouts. I'm sorry, I am so out of breath. That's the pregnancy. I'm just... Okay. And then there's one other YouTuber that I want to try. I'm going into the black now with a small blending brush. The channel is called Glow Body PT, and the woman who runs that channel is super friendly and nice. I think that she's a military wife, if I remember correctly. So she's kind of used to not having her husband around a lot. She also has 4 children, so she has a lot of prenatal and postnatal content, a lot of pregnancy-safe workouts, a lot of stuff to deal with ab separation, and just getting back into shape after pregnancy, and she's really inspiring. Now, her videos are a little bit longer. I think they average 15 to 25 minutes. So I wouldn't start with her because I need to get myself into the routine of exercising regularly, including it in my schedule. And then when I'm stronger and more fit and have invested in that kind of growth and I'm ready for a longer workout, I can do it. Another category which I've given myself, again, no particular order, is hobbies. And for hobbies, I find I have so many side interests. There are tons of things I want to do. And I tend to do the hobbies instead of doing what needs to be done, and that will come in later when I talk about my goals for my home. But because I have so many hobbies, it's not really a matter of, gee, what should I do today? It's a matter of how do I find time to do all the things that I want to do. And that might not be every single day, but maybe twice a week work on this hobby, and twice a week work on that hobby, and take a day off now and then, Eyeshadow is definitely under the hobbies category. This channel doesn't make me any money. This is not a side job. It's just a side interest. It's a hobby. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it can't take over. It can't be done to the exclusion of everything else, especially housework. But even other hobbies, there are other areas in my life where I want to grow. And while I'm having lots of fun with eyeshadow and YouTube videos, it's not the only thing. So I need to make time for other interests. Aside from eyeshadow, some other hobbies that I want to make specific time for are reading. I love to read, and yet I haven't made time for it in the last year. I also like to do cross-stitch, and I was working every Sunday afternoon on a cross-stitch project, but that was because there was a time crunch. I was doing it for someone else, and it was due by Christmas. But now that project is done, and I'm back to my own personal cross-stitch projects, and kind of fell by the wayside. I do truly enjoy doing it, and I have a couple cross stitches that are in the works, and they're beautiful, and I want to do them, finish them. I want to frame them so that I can enjoy them as art in my home. One of the other categories is my business. I have a small art business, which I own, and I pay taxes on, and I have bank accounts for, and there are annual fees. And last year I put really so little effort into that business. Now, I give myself some grace. Like, yeah, you had a little child to take care of. You know, you were getting used to being a family of 4. You moved to a smaller home. Like, yeah, there are always reasons that I can give myself as an excuse for not having done something. And some of those are legitimate, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the fact remains that I have this business. I pay for a website. I didn't really put that much effort into my business, and I'm a little ashamed of that. This is the shade Unbelievable. The first time I used this palette, I can card it above for you. I used the Mind Your Business shade, which is a multi-chrome, and it is absolutely stunning. But I thought that this shadow deserved a chance too, not to be literally overshadowed by the other one. So my specific goals for my business this year are to practice daily. Now, again, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Maybe 1 week it's going to be 4 days because I'm about to have a baby and life happens. But to practice daily is the goal. Another goal is to post regularly on Instagram, because I wasn't doing that either. I would go weeks and weeks without posting. At the time of this filming, my business followers don't know that I'm pregnant. That's how far behind I am. It's been 9 months, 8 months. It hasn't happened. I have not made it a priority. And I will say that creatively, I was in a dry spell, kind of a slump, ever since we moved to where we are now, and I lost my art area. Now, whenever I do artwork, it has to happen on the dining room table, which is a whole thing. Well, my creative energy has absolutely gone into eyeshadow. I'm so enjoying doing eyeshadow and making videos and being creative, and it's so much fun. I'm having a great time. But I don't want my business to suffer. Otherwise, like, what's the point of having the business? If I'm not going to do it, close it down, get rid of all the annual fees and the bank accounts and the website, to stop paying money for it, and then just do it on the side when I want to. But if it's going to be a business, I have to put time into it. The third goal for the business is to finish a course that I started. And I made sure when I bought it that I would have lifetime access, because I figured that I would get a little bit behind. But I'm quite behind now, and I don't want to be, so I want to finish that course. I forgot the yellow. I forgot the yellow. I just realized I've been so into talking and thinking ahead that I completely forgot that my eyeshadow goal for this palette was to do black and yellow. I haven't put on any yellow. Oh my goodness, I'm such a mess. I'm gonna put yellow on the lower lash line and inner corner instead. We'll make it work, but that is hilarious. I completely forgot to do the look that I was planning on doing. Okay, the final category that I'm focusing on is my home. I say this because I felt like my home has been pretty untidy for a while, very cluttered. There's something to be said for having downsized into a smaller space. And honestly, we were planning on moving at the end of January. Then I got pregnant, timeline shifted a little bit, and it looks like it might be shifting again. So we might be here for a little while. I don't like living in limbo. I find it stressful and annoying. And my home, I think, has suffered a good amount this year between me being overwhelmed and me being lazy. So I want my home to be welcoming, comfortable, and clean. I think I'll take a little bit of this yellow shadow and just put it up here in like the inner crease. Some of the things I want to incorporate to make my home what I would like it to be are to do better with keeping up with daily tasks like dishes and laundry, and just kind of tidying as I go. I have been that person at different points in my life, and I think I just got lazy. And I don't want to be lazy. And I don't want to teach my kids laziness. Another thing is, specifically, I made myself a chore chart. I have a chore chart where I lay out the things I want to get done each day, each week, and each month. And this includes, yes, the daily tasks, but also cleaning the ceiling fan blades and washing the windows. Things that don't have to happen every day or week, but they do need to happen. Because if they don't happen, you live in a pigsty. And I made myself this whole chore chart, and I made it pretty, and I put boxes for check marks so I can keep up with it. And it's inside a sleeve protector, and I attached a little wet erase pen, and then I ignored it. I totally ignored it. So I don't want to ignore that. I want to actually follow the schedule which I've set for myself. Here's the shade Mind Your Business, because I can't resist. It's so beautiful. It's also bringing in a smidge of green because it's a multi-chrome, and that'll tie into my shirt. The tip of my creme gel liner just went flying. Do I have more? Oh no, that was the rest of it. I have to put my glasses on and search for it. I found it, but it's pretty low. This is the Toucan Do It shade from ColourPop. This is my favorite. I adore this shade. It's like a metallic marigold. Super pretty. And I think it's discontinued, so once it's gone, I'll have to get something new. Got a lot of sparkles on my face, so I'm going to use a little concealer to clean those up and even out my skin tone a bit. When I look at this list of what I'd like to get done, it is quite clear, and I knew this going in, that underlying all of these goals are time management and discipline. I mean, if I want time for the pleasant things, I need to discipline myself to do the unpleasant things. There's just no getting around that. Even some of the pleasant things I want to do. For example, if I want to get better at an instrument, I have to practice that instrument, and practice is not always fun. Practice is not always easy. It's that discipline which gets you to where you want to be. You're not going to get there just by existing. You're not magically going to wake up one day and be amazing at something. Even if you have a natural skill, I love to sing, and I might have a nice voice, but if I don't practice, if I don't put the time and the energy into learning how to use that voice, learning how to control my sound and learn about things like vibrato and breath control. And if I don't put the work into learning how to use my natural ability, then it's just, okay, you have a decent singing voice. I'm not a good singer. So even the pleasant things that we want to do still require that we have discipline and time management to get them done when they're not pleasant. I'm going to use a little bit of the Tulum palette from BH Cosmetics for a bronzer. I just realized how much this eye look matches my earrings. That was kind of not planned. I chose them thinking, yeah, they'll work with the black and yellow, which didn't happen. Oh my, that's funny. I did incorporate yellow, but it's not what I was planning on. It's still pretty though. This palette also has 2 highlighters, so I'll just throw one of those on as well. The lighter of the 2. The other one's too gold for me. Anyway, I knew that discipline and time management were my problems. Because if they weren't my problems, honestly, none of this list would exist. If I weren't naturally inclined to be lazy or to watch YouTube videos instead of doing the dishes, I would have progressed in all of these areas, because that's the only thing holding me back is laziness and just not wanting to do it. And that is completely my fault. And I am the one who suffers. But again, at this point, I'm also teaching my children. It's no longer just me. This is not just Rachel wallowing in slothfulness. This is Rachel being a mother and teaching the next generation. And I don't want to teach them my bad habits. In fact, when you see your own habits in your kids, you just hope that they pick up all the good, virtuous things and that all the bad things are unobserved. But no, they're observed. And now when I see my 10-year-old being lazy, I'm like, oh, this is probably my fault. You have to learn how to motivate yourself. You have to learn how to expect more of yourself and do it. And your life is so much fuller and richer when you do that. So there we have it, friends. That's the whole look. On my lips, I'm wearing the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. And I put on some mascara. And I did not do an eyeliner, which is mainly because I forgot to, because this video is long enough. I don't need an eyeliner, it's fine. So in order to improve the areas of time management and discipline, some more concrete plans I need to do are to go to bed on time and allot specific times of my day to get specific tasks done. Perfect example, if I want to work on artwork, it's ideal for me to do that when my toddler is in bed napping, because otherwise she walks around the house and she gets her hands on top of the table and she touches everything and I can't do what I need to do. So that's the time of day for me to do that task. I have found myself practicing piano after breakfast. If I finish breakfast first and the kids are still downstairs eating, my older child is old enough to watch the younger to make sure she's okay, I'll run upstairs for 20 minutes and practice piano. That's a good time of day for me to do that. Otherwise, it doesn't get done. And next thing you know, it's been a week and I'm at my lesson going, shoot, I did not practice. And that's like, I'm putting out money for lessons. I need to practice. So there are things like that which are helping me kind of hone in on what I want this year to look like. And I know that stuff is going to come up. Life happens and you got to roll with what comes your way. But I don't want life to roll over me and I don't want life to pass me by as I just exist. I have to make specific goals. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Maybe you got a few ideas. If you want to share some of your goals and your thoughts in the comments below, I would love to read what's going on in your lives. I always enjoy chatting with my subscribers. Thank you very much for being here, for giving me your time, for putting up with me as I stumble through an eye look that didn't turn out at all like I was planning. But I do think it's pretty. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!